Today I'm going to show you how to make a devilishly delicious chili con carne. It's freaking awesome. Hi, I'm Sune and I'm a food geek. Today I'm going to show you my version of the American Tex-Mex dish, chili con carne. It's a dish where there's countless variations, but this is how I like mine. The standouts of my chili over the others is that it's made with dried chilies, softened in brewed coffee. The meat of choice is brisket, which becomes soft as butter when it's cooked low and slow. And for my own special touch, I'm adding my own homemade 85% chocolate with cocoa beans from Madagascar. I know that you obviously don't have the last ingredient available, but you can substitute with any good quality dark chocolate. If you're new to this channel, I bake a lot of sourdough bread and I make delicious food from all over the world. I'm on a quest to get the most out of every ingredient, and my goal is to teach you how to do that in simple and understandable steps. So join me by subscribing and ringing the bell so you won't miss any future videos. Many people believe that chili con carne is a Mexican dish. And while the name chili con carne is Spanish in origin, meaning chili with meat, it's an American dish which was often eaten by cowboys on the trail. The first recorded recipe has been traced back to 1850, but this was not the chili we know today. The chili was dried and formed into bricks that you could bring in your saddlebags and add water and prepare it in a pot over the fire. In the early 20th century, the popularity of the dish spread all over the States in the form of chili stands. And today, the dish is eaten all over the world. With glee, I might add. I'm not adding any particularly spicy chilies to my chili con carne. I'm using ancho, which is a wonderful fruity chili, and I'm using chipotle, which is a smoked jalapeno. Depending on who's eating, I might add a bit of crushed chili flakes, which I let simmer with the dish. It gives a nice chili hum, as a famous British chef always says. If you love spicy food, by all means, go nuts. These days, there are so many varieties of chilies available, and I love it when you have many things to choose from. Those were the words. This is the recipe. The written recipe, the ingredients, and the amounts are linked in the card above. First, we start out by soaking 2 dried ancho chilies and 1 dried and smoked chipotle chili in 400 milliliters of freshly brewed coffee. That's about 1 2/3 cup. I put a spoon over the top to make sure that the chilies are kept in the coffee. Then it's time to prepare the vegetables. Start by dicing 3 bell peppers and place them in a bowl. Then finely slice 2 red onions and put them in a bowl. Then peel 2 cloves of garlic. You need this garlic crushed later on. Then grab the soaked chilies out of the coffee. They may have soaked a lot of coffee, so be patient when you're draining them. Dice them finely. Put them in a bowl for later. Lastly, slice some fresh chilies finely and put them in a bowl. These will be used as a topping later on. Then cube about 4.5 pounds of brisket. Don't make the cubes too small because the meat will become very soft and tender while it's being cooked. Then it's time to brown the meat. Heat a cast iron pan until it's very hot. Add about 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. Add 1 layer of meat. Brown the meat on all sides. Add it to a bowl. Keep going until you've browned all the meat. Now it's time to make the chili. Heat a pot to medium heat. Add oil. Chopped red onions. Crushed garlic. And a tablespoon of smoked paprika. A good pinch of salt. A tablespoon of cumin. And some freshly ground pepper. Mix to combine and cook until the onions are softened. Then add the diced bell peppers. The coffee that the chili soaked in. The diced chilies. About 3 tablespoons of molasses. And 2 whole sticks of cinnamon. And lastly, add about 25 grams of dark chocolate. Mix to combine everything. Then add the meat and 2 whole cans of crushed tomatoes. Combine everything. Then bring it to the boil. Once it's at a slow boil, lower the heat to low and put a lid on. Let it simmer for at least 2 hours, but it can easily be longer. I'm serving my chili con carne with tortilla chips and guacamole, so while the chili is cooking, it's a good time to make the guacamole. Start by halving and de-seeding 2 ripe avocados. Add the flesh to a bowl. Mash it up to your desired consistency. Crush 2 cloves of garlic into the bowl. Then finely chop half a red onion and add it to the bowl. Dice 2 cherry tomatoes and add them to the bowl. Then de-seed a fresh chili, halve it and remove the walls. Chop it finely and add as much as you like. I'm using half a chili. Lastly, halve a lime and squeeze the juice into the bowl. Add a good pinch of salt and mix it well. Then cover it and refrigerate until you need it. When you're close to being ready to serve, add a can of red kidney beans to the chili. Also season with salt and freshly ground pepper to taste. Let it heat for about 15 to 30 more minutes. Then it's time to serve. Yum. Doesn't that just look delicious? Chili is a wonderful dish any time of the year, in my opinion. Although, as a Dane, the cold weather really calls for a dish like this. Let me know in the comments what your favorite side dish for chili con carne is. If you want to support the channel, please consider buying a t-shirt or using the links in the description for ingredients and tools. Thank you. I hope you learned something today. See you next time.